All right, I've unmuted myself. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Brutal. It is officially showtime. However, we are down a guest at the moment. We fear that this guest may be stuck in an airport. Not really, I don't know. But we're gonna give this particular... No, I'm not naming names. But I will say that one of them is not here at the moment. So please stand by. Everything is under control. Nah, they can't hear you. They can't hear you, so they don't know who it is. Nope, it's just they can only hear me. I have no video up right now. No. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not here to. All good. It's all good. Give us a few. I'm gonna reset the timer by a few minutes. I will be right back. right, we are. I have scrambled and found a third gamer. Sorry for the wait, everyone. I have to change the name real quick. Hold on, everyone. Sean, dude, you are an absolute rock star. Are you sure you're okay with this? Take your time, man. Take your time. Please, take your time. Absolute rocks. That's what I said. What? Wait a second. All brothers unite. Aha. All right. Let me make sure I got your name right here. You guys look pretty similar. It's all good. Ellesmere. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. All right, Cartridge Bros. Export. I know, right? Oh, that. So my channel is live. They can hear me, but they can't see or hear you guys yet. I won't pull you up until you're ready and comfortable. There's no rush, obviously. Never. Fight? What? Oh, hold on, wait, save it for the show. Save it for the show. Save it for the show. No, they can't hear you. Save it for the show. Please. All right. Are you good to go, Sean? Do you need a minute? Do you need to go use the restroom or get something to eat or drink? Okay.
Water.
All right, if you say so.
Some crow to eat after my comments about Dungeon Guide.
Yeah, we'll get into it. We can get...
I don't think I actually named ours. I'm pretty sure our naming came from my group think on the work, but yeah.
Let's see. All right, let me just make sure this is all lined up properly here. Does everything look okay to the stream? Thank you. Okay, couple quick thank yous. Thank you to the stream for being patient. Take your time, man. Thank you to the stream for being patient. Thank you for Shaw for being patient. Thank you for Sean. Oh, that's gonna be weird. Shaw and Sean. Okay, I'll enunciate. But thank you, Cartridge Bros, for being so willing to do this at such a last minute kind of a thing.
Only my mother calls me Cartridge Bros. It's weird.
Oh my god.
Oh man. I'm just picturing
fantastic. That is fantastic.
I'll send you. I was deployed one year. This is actually my brother and I used to do podcasts forever ago. Here's a little fun fact for everybody who doesn't care. And I was in the Navy for a long time, so I was deployed over Halloween one year, and my mom bought a bald cap, and we had T-shirts for Cartridge Bros. We had T-shirts made up, so she bought a bald cap, put that T-shirt on, and put her arm in a cast. It was her podcast, and she went as me for Halloween one year because I couldn't.
That's amazing.
Oh my goodness. That's fantastic.
So yeah.
Okay, I think we're good. You have black bars on the side of your web. Let me see if I can fix it real quick. Shaw, hold on.
Or is that something on my end?
I think it's something on your end, but I can actually zoom in and capture it. It's not a big deal.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just did like an EOS update.
Actually, you know what? I don't care.
My thing.
No, I don't care. You know what?
Yeah.
That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. I'm trying, like, the older I get, the more I try to not worry about things that don't matter. Like, I'm the kind of person to where it's like, I want things to look good and flow, but it's like, you know, who cares, man? We can still see you, we can still hear you. It's not a big
downvote
deal.
the video.
It's not a big deal. What? Hey!
The black bars. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's right. The content of this conversation was amazing, but those 2 black bars really took me out of it.
Really just
So
ruined the
I
whole thing.
I've unsubscribed,
All right.
and
Ruined the
I've
immersion.
downvoted, and I wrote 3 nasty letters to my senator.
Yep.
All right,
That's
well,
the way to
you guys good to go? I'll try to keep the show around. I don't want to go past 1 p.m. Central. That's an hour and 40-ish from now, so I'll try to keep it around 90-ish minutes. Might go a little over. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, that works for me. You're just
Perfect.
interrupting my lunch.
I'm so sorry. Wait, I told you to go eat. I told you.
Tell me to go eat. Yeah.
Do you want to go eat real
Give me
quick?
The impression that I eat quickly, sir.
No, dude,
I
I
do actually.
I do. I scarf my food. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a minute if you want to go eat for real.
No, it was a joke.
You can also just eat on the stream for all I care.
Yeah.
As long as you
I
just
might.
mute your mic.
We'll see. If I get hungry midstream, I'll get up and make a sandwich because everything's right there.
Perfect. Perfect.
You can see
Just
me on the
please
surface.
don't chew in the mic. I beg of you.
I won't.
Please.
Yeah, no mukbang streams today, Chad. No mukbang streams. Oh my God, you spelt my name wrong.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sean.
How could you not know that? How dare you?
Me?
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking? Where? What? I don't even see your name. What are you talking about?
Oh, maybe it's I'm not Jewish. Spelt it wrong. I assumed that was a command. Sorry. All right. I forgive you.
I know how to spell your name. Please forgive Drush is scrambling. He's my main mod. Forgive Drush. Drush, don't take it personally.
Drush,
Sean latches out. All right, don't take it personally. No, he just
If it was spelt that way, it would be like if Shaw and I dated. That's how it would be spelled. That would be our couple. You know how they do like Benifer? We would be Sean spelled like that.
Oh my
that would be
God.
our dating name.
Yes. No, Druish did me a solid. He was updating everything while I was scrambling to find somebody. So big thank you to Druish for being an awesome mod.
Doing great. Yep.
And we'll resolve that. He will resolve that issue immediately. Don't worry. All right. You guys ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, let's hit it.
Do you care about the show notes, Sean? I don't think you cared about them last time, right? All right, cool.
I mean, I looked through them last time, so I had some
You're a
stuff to
pro.
say. But now you're just gonna get off the cuff, Sean. Which
You're a pro. That's how I like it. That's how I like it.
come
All right.
out of pocket these tips.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Season 2, episode 2 of Brutally Honest, a WoW podcast. I am joined today by 2 people who I set up to sit down with weeks. We've had this show planned for weeks now. This is not by any means a last minute change. So Sean, thank you for being so willing to sit down. I know we've been talking about this episode for weeks on end, so I know you're super duper prepared.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, man. And Shaw, thank you for being here. Guys, these guys have been here before. They need no introduction, but please let me introduce them. We got Cartridge Bros here. Mr. Sean from Raider.io. That's SEAN for the record. Don't mess it up. Cartridge Bros can be found on Twitch and YouTube, and he tanks. And I don't have an intro for you because joking aside, we actually scrambled last minute to find a replacement for a guest who was unable to make it. So please give a huge round of applause to Mr. Cartridge Bros for being here. I literally DM'd him like 8 minutes ago, and he's here in the seat, ready to rock and roll. So hat off to you, man. If you ever need anything, ask Shaw, because I'm very unavailable most of the time. So just putting it out there. But thanks for being here, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it was. It's great. One of the benefits of being terminally online and having my wife live in a different province is I crave human connection. So when you said, "Hey, do you want to come on and talk to arguably the best brewmaster in Warcraft and one of the most attractive people on YouTube?" How could I say no? I'm so lonely.
Oh, but 2 factual statements. Very, very good, sir. Very good, sir. And of course, we also have Mr. Shaw over here, another returning guest. Good to see you, buddy. Shaw, again, needs no introduction, but this guy's an avid brewmaster, as Sean, Mr. Cartridge Bros established. Known as a tank content creator on YouTube, focuses on his Mythic Plus guides, tips and tricks, commentary style videos. You can see him pushing his character in the class and the spec to the limits. How often do you stream? Daily, right?
Monthly.
Monthly. Okay. Monthly. Gotcha.
I often forget to hit the go live button. Yeah.
You did put, yes, you did put that at the end of your notes here. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I stream occasionally. It'll ramp up here once the season starts. I just don't like streaming what I consider fairly boring like world content because normally it's just me working on UI stuff. So.
Yep. See, that's
I've been a
all
little
I stream.
but it'll be back.
Oh
yeah. That's okay though.
Yeah, that's
I watch
all
your
I
streams.
stream.
They're good.
So yeah, quite boring. I'm reading here. You achieved all 3 War Within 0.1% titles on your Brewmaster.
Yeah, it was like
crap,
my
man.
goal for the expansion was to do like a little sweep. Season 1 was hard, but the other 2 were not as hard. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of that achievement.
You should be proud in all seriousness. Sean, how many 0.1% have you gotten?
Between Shaw and I, we have 3.
You know, fun fact, between me, you, and Shaw, we have 3. That's like 1 for each of us.
That's the
crazy.
best
Yeah,
joke.
I'll spread them out.
Best joke from the Oscars ever when Ryan Gosling says, well, between the 2 of us, we have 2 Oscar wins, and Russell Crowe's like, yeah, they're both mine. Yes, I'll be Ryan Gosling to Shaw's Russell Crowe.
Man, 2 handsome dudes. Look out now. So Shaw, correct me if I'm wrong. You just hit partner on Twitch. Is that right?
Yes.
So even though you don't stream, you hit partner.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I stream when I stream. When I don't. You know. So, but yeah, I got that about a month ago. That was a fun process.
Yeah. So actually, real quick, wait. Put a pin in that. I just realized in the scramble to get the show up and running, I didn't do a mic check. Is Shaw a little quiet for you guys? Should I turn Shaw up? Can anyone let me know? I think
lean in.
I like when you lean in. Yeah, you have a nice lean.
Ooh. I look like an ostrich, man.
All right, I'm gonna right click. I'm going to increase your user volume. Okay, there we go. We're good to go now. All right, so I want to talk to you. Yeah, you sound you're loud and clear now. So I got partner way back in like 2017, and it was an ordeal. And I've never had high viewership. It's just not part of my life. But I want to know, what was the journey like for you? How many rejections? Because I went through dozens of rejections. So talk about this process just for a hot minute.
Yeah, so I did this like a little backwards. So I mostly focused on YouTube content for like the longest time, and I always plugged my Twitch channel, but I never actually streamed. So I ended up having I think I hit like near 1,000 followers before I really ever hit going live. And so immediately upon hitting live, I like immediately got affiliate because I just had people tuning in. And then it's just been like a slow burn. Like over the years, I go through different like cycles of streaming a bunch and then not streaming at all. And just over time, slowly getting more followers and more, I guess, like average viewers kind of helped. I got really lucky though, because I was able to meet a bunch of cool people in the community who would like raid me all the time. And so I went from like streaming to like 20 people to streaming to like 150 plus for a long period of time during like Dragonflight and such. And that's when I first hit like the partner status, and I applied and got rejected almost immediately. They're like, you haven't been streaming long enough. I'm like, okay, makes sense. And that was during Dragonflight beta. And then again, during the War Within beta, I was streaming a bunch, applied again to partner, didn't get it. Third time's the charm. This midnight beta, I was averaging like 100 something viewers per stream. And I did that. I just committed. I was like, I'm going to do this for 2 months straight, hopefully get partner. And if not, I'm never streaming on Twitch again. So it was my 3rd time applying. I got it, thankfully. But yeah, it was getting rejected definitely sucks.
3 times, that's
weird.
it?
That's it. And I was talking to some people. I was like messaging around different people who have partner, and a lot of them were saying like they got declined 7, 8, 10 times. So I'm like, oh, it's not that bad.
All right, you suck, man.
I was
Whatever,
asking
dude.
them that before I got. I'm sorry. Hey, it worked out, but it was just kind of wild because I was like, all right, I'm preparing myself to get rejected like 5 more times at least before I get partner. But it ended up working out, so I'm very thankful.
Yeah, worked out real nice for you, Mr. 3-timer. All right, whatever. Three titles and only 3 applications to Twitch partner. I'm sensing a trend.
Yeah, the 3. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing this for 3 more years.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. I know a lot of people obviously work really hard to get to that point, and it's not easy.
It's tough for sure.
It is, and that's that's one of the things that I really enjoy about connecting with so many people is, networking is the fact that you are able to build those relationships, and you do get rated, and you do have people like Sean who show up literal last minute and throw you a bone. So you guys are awesome, and
Sean the legend for sure. Yeah,
it's crazy, man. So hat off to you, Sean, again, and congratulations to you again, Shaw, Sean and Shaw. Congratulations, guys.
This is gonna be a tough podcast for you. Yeah,
it was worth.
I know.
It was worth logging into this call just for this. The Sean watching
Sean
Brutal like desperately try to make sure his mouth does what it's supposed to do.
It's very difficult. I'm old and slow. So listen, I have some notes here for the show that are not applicable anymore because we had to swap guests real quick, but most of it should still work. So if I say anything that doesn't make sense, just wave a flag or let me know that that's we need to not talk about that because it doesn't make sense to you guys. So I'm gonna skip ahead here, and I just want to ask you guys, how the heck's your week been? Like, what have you guys been doing? Mythic Plus isn't out yet, so sorry, Shaw. But I see that you guys have been raiding, right? We've been having fun in the raid. You guys been liking the raid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the raid's fun.
Hold on, back it up. I sense a little hesitation there. What was the hesitation there?
It's really, really, really easy.
I can appreciate that.
Which isn't such a big deal. Like I think okay.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I got to push back a little bit here. Have you killed everything on heroic?
We got to Ilaria. We have our second raid night is tonight, so we're on Ilaria heroic. We had her at P2. So we have 3 hours tonight. I don't see a world where we don't kill her.
Okay. I just wanted to ask, because some people are like, oh, the raid's really easy. What are you? I'm 3 out of 6 normal. So I just wanted to make sure we're on the same. We're talking about the same stuff here. Please continue your train of thought, sir.
So yeah, just it's fun. The bosses are fun. I am a little concerned about Mythic when that launches and what it means for the race, but what it also means for guilds. I'm on the record in like 100 spots saying that Warcraft is best when the game is accessible. And I think it should be accessible. I think it's good if people can clear content that they enjoy. But I am a little bit worried that, my guild usually, we're around that world 500 mark, sometimes a little bit lower, 450, 475, sometimes 525. We're in that world 500 mark. We usually get a kill right around the 0.5 patch and then have the back half of the tier to farm out mounts for everybody in the team, do sales and what have you. I am a little concerned that we might be ahead of that this year, and then that makes a longer farm period, and that just sort of, I don't know, there's some risk there to teams, but yeah. But the bosses are fun. The raid is beautiful, and we don't know what Mythic's going to look like. If Tuesday comes out and there's a patch note that says, hey, we've bumped up the health and damage of all these bosses, I will not be shocked if that happens. So yeah.
You and I definitely share the same thought process or opinion on that. Something I said in the months leading up to midnight. I had Whisper on the podcast a month or two ago, and he made a video about this topic and how easy everything felt during raid testing on the beta. And I raid tested, a handful of bosses, and I'm like, this is on varying difficulties. I'm like, this is surprisingly easy. Now, like you said, tuning, if they crank up the health, if they crank up, 5, 10, 15% damage here and there, the numbers are the question mark. But mechanically speaking, I would stand my ground and say that mechanically speaking, not much is going on right now. Not to say it's a walk in the park for every single player and it's the dumbest thing ever. No, I enjoy the raid. I had a lot of fun this week. A lot of fun. But I do agree, mechanically, it's surprising. But I say surprisingly, but maybe it's not surprising. Maybe it's very much to be expected with the class pruning and the add-on changes and so on and so forth. I think it is intentional, but I do agree. Everything feels relatively easy. But I am still having fun.
That first boss, when it spawns the ads that walk down, like that's not a joke. You can literally RP walk to the safe lanes. Move that slow.
Shaw, what's your experience with the raid so far?
I did not have the same experience. I thought this raid was actually pretty challenging, but I'm also kind of bad. And I just realized, I I'm not a great raider. I don't think.
Me either, buddy. Don't worry. Me
And
either.
I didn't realize how reliant I was on weak auras telling me when to taunt. We had so many wipes in heroic on almost like every boss to just tank swaps, and I'm the tank, so it's like my bad, which is so funny. But it's like I'm just not. I have like a totally different UI setup this time around, and obviously weak auras are gone, and we don't have these crazy packages, which I'm very thankful for. But I felt like some of the tank swaps weren't like super obvious. And it wasn't necessarily like a debuff on the tank, it was a debuff on the boss or whatever, or buff on the boss. And it's just like I don't really know what's going on. So we had a lot of early like wipes just because of that, which obviously is frustrating for people who
Mhm.
are just trying to clear the content quickly. I like the raid though. I think it's like I can't really think of a boss that I despise. I actually really liked like Chimeras. I don't know how to say it.
Chimeras.
First couple of bosses, yeah, of the Void Spire, also great. I don't like the dragons. I think the dragons can piss off. Outside of that, I don't know. The raid's great, honestly. And I like the way that they're releasing it this time around too.
Yeah. So with the dragons, somebody out there can correct me if I'm wrong. I played MM because it's just really brokenly strong right now. But I believe for Beast Mastery Hunters, their Stampede, if you attack the dragon that's flying, your Stampede literally goes under the dragon and doesn't hit it. So make sure you're always attacking the one that's on the ground. And in relation to kind of having the 3 different raids, dude, I've said this for years, so forgive me for being a broken record to anyone who's listened to me for any amount of time. But I think back to your Blackwing Descents, your Bastion of Twilight. God, man, I love having multiple raids, having like, 4 bosses here and 6 there and stuff like that. There's something about just being able to go into a variety of raids and progress like that to me is just so fun. And that doesn't mean I don't like the big raids, like, your Siege of Orgrimmars or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't want to be in them for 14 months, but, I guess there's a nice balance that can be struck there. Anyway, I don't remember if there was more that I was trying to say there, but yeah, sorry to hear you struggle with tank swaps, man. Sean, you didn't have any trouble taunting or anything like that?
No, so the tank, I obviously I did beta testing for all the bosses, so that helps a lot. And like I mentioned, Termini Online and my partner she's not here right now, so I literally just spend all day long reading different Discords, watching videos, going over stuff. So, yeah, I'm that kid who studied really, really hard for the test. But Shaw's not wrong. There's a couple of complicated, like, so on Nexus King Saladair, it's not intuitive at all. There's that big star smash that he does on the tank, and he also stacks a debuff on the tank as well. And your brain would go, oh, I swap on the star, but you don't. You swap before the star cast so that the tank who has the high stacks of the dot doesn't get the big attack from the star smash. So you're actually taunting before the mechanic in that one, which is not super intuitive out of the gate. With the dragons, you don't have to swap at all, which makes that fight infinitely easier because then you don't have dragons crossing over the platform. One tank can just tank the same dragon the entire time. And then the paladins fight as well, because you're taunting mid-judgment, but because you have to taunt mid-judgment, because then the next they judge you and then they do a Shield of the Righteous, or they judge you and they do, I think it's I want to say whatever the other abilities are. It's a ret ability. Who knows?
Yeah.
Probably Final Verdict. Anyway, so they
something like
swap
that, yeah.
in the middle of that. If the one who's empowered is one of the ones you're tanking, then you're like sort of like, okay, well, this one's coming out, but when's it going to judge? So it is the tank. The taunt swaps are a bit all over the place. And then on Alaria, when you're in phase 2, sorry, this is now a tank podcast. In Alaria on phase 2, when you've got her and the Simulacrum apart from each other, when you taunt, they actually just jump to the tank. You don't have to normally, like, you would have to like walk to a mob and get it or walk it away. They literally just hop to the other tank. So it's like, if your taunt isn't on time, your Simulacrum comes to Alaria and now she's empowered and you're blasting your raid. It is harder for tanks for sure, I think, than definitely marksmanship hunters. But
okay.
Yeah. So I could definitely, I totally get why that was the experience I had.
All right. Well, listen, the joke's on you guys. I was a tank from 2005 when I started playing to 2015. 2015. I was a tank for 10 years.
So like 11 years ago? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, you tanked 11 years ago. Yeah.
My point is...
When I was in middle school.
My point, sir, is that, I used to tank and then I saw the light. And I'm like, why am I tanking when I can be shooting arrows? And I haven't looked back.
Sure.
I still Yeah, don't click that link that Drish has put in a Twitch chat. They love to make fun of me. I did tank for a short stint in BFA, but then I went back to playing Hunter. So
Chat says you're still tanking the keys that you run to this day.
anyway, so where was I going with this?
Oh, no.
Let's see. Let me think. But yeah, tanking is definitely one of those things to where if it's being done correctly, no one cares. You may get a thank you every once in a while or a good job every once in a while. But the moment you miss one taunt or mess one thing up, it's like, Shaw sucks. Man, Sean's the worst. You guys get out of here. It's
Flip
tough, man. It is.
It's thankless. It
Flip it.
really is.
New sub
'cause
sound.
If a DPS makes a mistake in the raid, most people probably won't even notice it, right?
Yeah.
It's very rare that you notice. But if a tank makes a mistake, everybody's dead. And they
Mhm.
tend to notice that. So it's
Yep.
there's like a lot more pressure. And you also, when you're tanking in the raid, your job is just everything just needs to be consistently the same every single pull, because a tank sees their mechanics every pull. There's only 2 of us. There's only so many. You're gonna see them every pull. But a DPS might only see a mechanic once every 3 pulls.
Mhm.
So you need to make sure that every time they see that mechanic, it looks the same way as when they saw it last time. So there's a lot of pressure on the tank, and especially now, like Shaw mentioned, not having weak auras, and if you even ignoring the computational weak aura stuff, sometimes Blizzard just doesn't give the information to you in a good way. Like if you're trying to look for your
Mhm.
co-tanks debuffs, for example, and they're just on a tiny
so hard.
little square on your raid frame. So yeah, tanks, I think were hit. Healers were obviously hit the most by this change to the UI and everything that we have, but I think tanks definitely are also in a bit of a rough spot. They're turning to things like Bigwigs and Northern Sky, which will give you a separate co-tank window. But yeah, it's stressful. It's a lot. I don't think I would ever switch to Hunter though. That's oof.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Low
of all
blow,
the
man.
classes.
Low.
Yeah, right.
You know, I endure a lot of flack from you guests week to week about me playing Hunter, but I'll have you know I did good damage on one of the 6. Actually, this is a good time for me to say this. Listen, if anyone from Unbalanced, the guild I raid with is Unbalanced. If anyone from Unbalanced is listening, I need to apologize for my performance most of the week. I have to be honest, and I will be honest here. I have not played marksmanship. I mean, literally, I have not played marksmanship since Castle Nathria. Which was a long time ago. You guys, made a joke about me tanking 11 years ago. That was like 5 years ago, right? And I've been very,
Something like
very, BM oriented for however many years now because I haven't raided. I literally haven't raided since Castle Nathria. And so when the raid opened on Tuesday, I'm like, I got this. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it took me until Thursday to find my footing. But I tell you what, man, when I found my footing, I found it. I felt pretty good on Thursday. I was pumping. But yeah, Tuesday, I was not doing a very good job. Very, very disappointed in my performance on Tuesday as a DPS. And Wednesday rolls around, and we're on Double Dragons, heroic Double Dragons, and 30 minutes into the raid, my power goes out. And I cannot emphasize enough to you guys, like, that doesn't happen. Like, we've lived in this house, we've lived in this area for almost 2 years now. We have fiber internet never goes down. We have underground utilities, power never goes out. There was not a storm. There wasn't a leaf blowing in the wind. There was no rain, and it just died. And our utility company texts us saying, "Hey, there are 74 homes in your area without power. It looks like it's equipment failure. We'll have you back up in 8 to 9 hours." I'm like,
Jeez.
It's one of those things to where it's just one raid night. It's not that big of a deal, but I have to make sure I'm painting the picture here. I want to emphasize the fact that yes, it is just one raid night. No, it's not that big of a deal because it's only heroic week, but please keep in mind, anyone who's listening, and I'm preaching to the choir here. Of course, you guys will understand this. We have had months of alpha and beta. We've had weeks of, prep and preseason stuff. It's day 2 of the raid. And I'm looking to do a better job because I sucked on night 1. I was looking to do a better job on night 2. And it's just all this anticipation and excitement and just joy of being able to experience a new raid for the first time and things finally mattering. And then boom, it's completely taken out of my hands. Like, I can't do anything about it. I can't go to somebody else's home because it's, 1 a.m.
Oh,
I just had to, you know, bite the bullet and be like, well, I guess I'm not raiding tonight. And they killed. Weirdly enough, if you go back and look at, I'll try to link it if I remember, link it in the description below. If you look at the kill on the double dragons in the last 45 seconds of the fight, my power, my UPS, my uninterruptible power supply, my battery backup kicks on. The lights go out, and I'm like, my power's out. And then we kill the boss, and then my stream just dies. And then they go on to kill heroic Lightbringer Vanguard, whatever it's called, without me, and normal Crown of the Cosmos without me. And I say this, and it'll make sense. They didn't kill heroic Crown that night, thank goodness, because the next night, Thursday, of course, everything was back up to power was back on, everything was back to normal, and I was able to kill heroic Crown. And I'm so glad I didn't miss that, because if I had missed that, I wouldn't have gotten my 3 Great Vault options at heroic levels. So anyway, thanks for listening to my tangent. Thumbs up. Yay for power going out. Yay.
W power. Wait. No, not W. Wait.
Power good. Power out bad. Power
Power is
on good.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need a stream goal to buy you a generator.
Yeah, we moved from Florida a couple years ago, and I didn't have a generator down there, and I never thought I'd need one up here. Although we do live in like Tornado Alley, so that's not always fun. Anyway, the point is, it was a great raid week for me. At the end of the week, not so great a raid week at the beginning, man. I sucked. Have you guys struggled with anything related to your builds, your roles, or anything like that? Or is tanking for you guys pretty much the same that always has been?
I'll let Sean go first.
So this season I'm playing Prot Warrior and Prot Paladin on 2 different teams, and Guardian Druid a little bit, but I'm not raiding on Guardian. But Prot Warrior, I gotta be honest, Prot Warrior feels basically the same as felt since, I don't know, 1.2. It's not a lot of changes. I sunder less now, I guess. But it just feels mostly the same. And it feels good. I like the way Prot Warrior feels. It feels really strong in raid. I think Shaw would know better, but I think in keys this season it might struggle a bit more just because of the dungeons and how much bleed and magic damage there is. And Prot Paladin feels. I was a big fan of Prot Paladins of Avenger Shield giving holy power back in Shadowlands, and then I think it was Dragonflight when they took that away. And now with the Apex talent, where it like sort of gives it back most of the time, it feels good again. And I like it. I really like pressing that. But even when I wasn't supposed to, I'm an awful person for like the rotation, priority. Make sure you judgment first. I'm like, I am sending this Avenger Shield every time it's available. I don't give a I
You
don't
have
care.
to.
I'm sending, yeah, you gotta send it. You gotta send it. Anyway, the Prot Paladin also feels pretty good. In the raid and in M0s. We'll see what happens when the season hits. I've heard some things that maybe Prot Paladin isn't strong defensively. Dungeons.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I saw a TikTok. I'm sure it's on YouTube too. Listen, I scroll. I doom scroll. All right, don't judge me. But I was doom scrolling the other night when my power was out. I think maybe it was the night afterward. And there's this video of this guy on, is it Veracious? Is that the name of the? It's a Prot Paladin, and it's like the last 5% of the boss's HP, and he hits Enrage, and the Prot Paladin taunts and goes off to the side, and Veracious is just beaming this Prot Paladin, to into oblivion, and the Prot Paladin's just tanking it, just bubbling it, living through it, holding him for about 15 seconds before he eventually finally dies, which allowed his team, his raid, to do enough damage to eventually kill it. And who cares what difficulty it was on? Who cares what rank these people are? It was amazing, and I love seeing people do fun and cool things like that. So don't sell yourself short, Sean. All right, Prot Paladin, they can live for at least 15 seconds, it seems.
That sounds like a spell warding into Divine Shield angle. But yeah, both of those feel great. Shaw's what I'm excited to hear about, because we're in like the brew renaissance. I don't know how to put those words together. We're in a renaissance.
Renaissance, yep. That's the
renaissance
official term. Yep.
Yeah.
From the raids perspective, Brew's insane. It is struggling on a couple fights like Saladar because of the dot, just because they took away a lot of our defensives going into this patch. So Brew's survivability in raid is actually not as high as it used to be in previous raid tiers, where you had not only stagger, but you also had really powerful DRs like dampen harm and diffuse magic. So rating is pretty good there. But for Mythic Plus, yeah, they are looking crazy strong, and they have avoided somehow most nerfs that I think people were expecting. And so I'm excited to see a nice brew meta until the 0.5 patch where they'll buff Paladin once again and repeat the cycle, because that is
Cycle
just how it
continues.
goes.
Are
The
you?
cycle continues.
We have 3 more tunings coming up. We have one this Tuesday, and then based on Blizzard's announcements, March 31st, and then another one April 7th. Let's play dev for a day. Shaw, if you were the Brewmaster dev and Ian comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm going to need you to make some targeted nerfs to bring Brew in line," what would, and this is awful, you don't want to bring this into existence. What would you nerf? What specific things would you target to bring Brew in line with other tanks?
Yeah, remove stagger completely and then nerf all their damage by 50%, and I think we'll be good.
Perfect. Yeah, that's really good tracks. Let's do it. Print it.
I don't know. I genuinely think that the nerfs that are going to be coming up, I shouldn't even say nerfs because they could be buffs as well, but I think Brew is at a place where they don't think it's too overpowered. It doesn't have as good of a utility kit as other tanks from Mythic Plus, and so it will struggle a little bit there. Not as much in previous seasons because there's a lot less casters and such. I don't know if they're going to nerf anything. If anything, actually, Brewmaster's getting buffed in the 0.5 patch because they've already announced those changes. I don't know if they'll touch Brew, if I'm being honest. And I don't think Brew's like overpowered enough to like nerf it. Like Guardian Druid still can do insane AoE damage versus Brew. Brew AoE damage is just, it's like stagnant. Unlike like Prop Paladin, right? You pop, obviously it's hard to play crit wings and high Mythic Plus, but you pop crit wings and you hit a Divine Toll and you're gonna sustain that crazy damage for 20 seconds. But Brew is just like, you kind of like flatline the whole time. So they're just consistent. I think having that nice palette of like good single target, good AoE, and like stagger just being a really powerful defensive just makes them like a really strong candidate this season. And I don't think Blizzard is going to touch them personally.
I love that. Do you think there's any chance we see a Brew main on the stage for the MDI at BlizzCon this year?
I'm not sure because these groups, okay. Also, I might be wrong about this, but didn't they announce that MDI is going back to a format where you're speedrunning versus?
They did, yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah, so that is a totally different game that they're going to be playing at that point, and speed is going to be really important. So you might take something like a Guardian Druid that can just do more damage, especially in like large AoE, or you might take something like Prop Paladin where you're able to pull extra groups of casters and not have to deal with as many kicks, right? So if survivability is not really the biggest issue in these like speed running versions of the game in the MDI, I don't think Brew would be the choice. Now it depends on tuning in the future, right? But I think Brew right now is shining probably for live servers, or if like MDI had its old format. But I just don't think it's that tank that can live the mega pull forever, and they don't do as much damage in those large AoEs compared to some other tanks in cooldown. So we'll see. I don't know. I also know a lot of tank players don't like playing Brewmaster, right? Like I feel like most tank players play all tanks, but Brewmaster players stick to Brewmaster, and most tank players don't play Brewmaster. Like it's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's a strange it's the black sheep of the tank group.
How long have you been playing Brewmaster?
I've been maining it for 3 years. Before that, I played it like really casually, but I was struggling to get like my +5s done. I was really bad at it.
I remember back when MOP released, before MOP released, they announced a monk. I was over the moon. I might have talked about this the last time you were on the show. Forgive me, but I remember my favorite thing that I ever did in because I mained Brewmaster alongside my Prot Warrior throughout all of MOP. My favorite thing that I ever did was throwing the keg toss or whatever it was called back in the day, where it was the AoE slow splash that it did to mobs, and you would kite those mobs on Heroic Garrosh, back when Heroic was the hardest difficulty before it became Mythic, and kiting the Iron Stars. Oh man, those are good times, good monk times.
Glory days.
Indeed. Okay, we're gonna switch gears for just a quick second here. Thoughts on the cinematic at the end of Voidspire? What takeaway? What's your takeaway? Do you think it was a good cinematic? Did it drive the narrative forward? And B, do you also think Illyria is still alive somehow, and that she'll be back, sadly, even though she should be dead? I'm not trying to lead the witness here. Please go ahead.
You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Sure.
I have some thoughts.
No. My thoughts are short, so I'll go, and then I'll let you.
Yeah. All right.
I can't wait to hear your thoughts. I think she's dead, and I hope she's dead. That's all I'm gonna say.
See, I don't think she is, but I wish that she were.
Wow.
Amen.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're jumping to the wishing death portion of the show already.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Also, I'm gonna be right back. 1 sec. Sorry.
No problem,
Sure,
buddy.
yeah.
I can still hear you. I can still hear you, but I
You
just
still hear
gotta
me?
step out for
Okay.
a second.
No
Yeah.
problem, buddy. No problem.
Okay. I think she's not dead, but I do think she won't be a void elf anymore.
Right. Yeah, I think the
she's
void
lost.
elf has been ripped out of it, right?
So I believe this is the segue into high elves returning in the game with her and Varisa as like the forerunners of this. High elves coming back into the not back because they've always been there as just a smaller group, but back to the mainstream. I don't think she's dead. I think she's gonna be like horribly injured. Maybe she's like in a coma or something. We don't know because Terrellian has to snap over something, and it's gonna be what happened there. But I think the part that is most interesting is that Xalatath is the wielder of the Blade of the Black Empire. So the dagger that Xalatath uses to rip Lura from Illyria's body is the same dagger that she was trapped in by the old god. So at the time in Legion, we first discovered this dagger. It was called Xalatath, the Blade of the Black Empire. So for anybody who's not sure, the dagger itself is the Blade of the Black Empire. It was only called Xalatath, the Blade of the Black Empire, because she was the essence that was inside of it. Well, now there is another essence inside of it, and it's N'Zoth. So
Wait,
she
is that
wielding-
confirmed or is that speculation?
No, that's what happened at the end of Ny'alotha, at the end of BFA.
I thought he's died.
Now we stuck the dagger in him and absorbed him into the dagger.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure. Trust, big trust. So now
All
it's
right, I do
N'Zoth,
trust you. Of all people, I do trust
Blade of
you.
the Black Empire.
All right, all right.
The lore. I love this.
Yeah, and so she's lost the Dark Heart because she used that to open up the Void Storm above the now Darkwell. Spoiler alert. I guess the spoiler alert should come before the naming, but whatever.
No, after for sure. Always after.
Always after. It's better that way, right?
Always. Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Whoops, spoiler. So yeah, she's wielding
sorry.
the power of an old god. Now they made a deal. Xalatath and N'Zoth made a deal back when she was trapped in the blade, when she was like, hey, listen, your brothers they're kind of dicks. If we just teamed up, we could get rid of the dicks. And N'Zoth obviously was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
Title of the episode.
Get rid of the dicks.
Print
Yeah,
it.
So many
I think
clicks.
that's good.
That's good.
Put it on the shirt.
I
Right?
don't think she's dead though. I think if she was dead, there would have been more afterwards. Like we end and they're like, oh, the Darkwell's happening, and Lorthamar's like, hey, go and save people from around on Quel'Danas, and then we come back, and nobody's like, oh man, Alaria is dead. So she's probably just like really, really mortally injured.
Well,
I'm
then she
guessing
just
in a coma or something.
she disappeared, right? Like, didn't her and Terrellian get sucked into the void or something like that? Isn't that what happened in the
Yeah.
cinematic? So we don't
Yeah, they
actually
were
know
like-
where they are, right?
Yeah, but that's old hat for them, tumbling
Yeah.
through the twisting nether. That's kind of what
You're
that
not
was
wrong.
their third date, wasn't it? Like through the dark portal. Like,
Okay,
Yep.
so
Best third date. Yeah.
I just want to make sure you're finished with your train of thought because I don't want to interrupt
I'm
you
all
more
done.
than.
I'm all
Okay,
done.
so some Druish or maybe somebody can chime in here in chat. I can't remember, but I think it was somebody in chat said that they read from somewhere that what they think is happening is that Ilaria either is dead or we'll see her die in a cinematic at the end of March on Quel'Danas or whatever, because she dies and that in turn is what gets Sylvanas back into the fight. Like she winds up in the afterlife and Sylvanas is like, oh no, Ilaria's dead, I must go back to Azeroth, which I'm not excited about Sylvanas showing back up either. Are you listening, Blizzard? We're sick of the Windrunners. Get rid of them. I don't know if that's true or not. That's all speculation, but I thought that was interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope she's dead
That's interesting
forever.
for sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
Why?
I don't know.
I know why I wish she was dead. I want to know why you wish she was dead.
I can't stand the Windrunners, man. I'm sick and tired of them. They suck.
Okay.
I don't like their attitudes. I don't like them. I'm sick of them. Too much of the spotlight. Give me more. I want more. Bring back Illidan. I know he'll probably be back next expansion, maybe the
Oh, yes.
very end of this expansion. So
The super underutilized Illidan Stormrage.
hey, we haven't seen him in like 10
Yeah,
years.
he's
All right.
I never
All right.
see him.
All right. Hey, hold on, wait. My wife.
Never
Hold on
heard
one
of that
second. Slight tangent here. My wife has been on a book, little weekend retreat with her book club friends, a ladies retreat. She sent me a text yesterday. They were in Books-A-Million, which is a bookstore. Who would have thought? And Books-A-Million have these things called the World of Warcraft collectible character series. Here, this is a horrible. I'm just going to hold this up real quick. I don't know if you guys can. I don't know if anyone out there can see this, but anyway, it's like this little collectible series. It's like 6 or 7 characters. 6 or 7. It actually literally is 6 or 7 characters. And I looked it up because I'd never seen this before. I didn't know anything about them. Yeah, they're like $30 each or something like that. And there's a 1 in 72 chance of getting an Illidan figurine. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, oh, how much would it cost to just order the Illidan? Yeah, it's like $500 to $1,000 on eBay for that Illidan figure, man. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Fun fact, you could buy that entire set as a box set, and I did. But the box set doesn't come with Illidan. It's just a box that has all of the other ones in it except for Illidan. Which was frustrating to say the least.
Dude, that's
but they're
lame.
great figures.
Yeah,
Illidan's
that's an appropriate word.
Illidan's my boy. Anyway, so have we all said our piece about the cinematic?
I want to know. Shaw also wishes death on Ilaria Windrunner. I want to know, like, what's
I feel like there hasn't been any crazy stakes ever since Dragonflight, where they came out of Shadowlands, kind of rough story arc, and like the Anduin's shit was like really traumatic. Not traumatic, but like I think it resonated in a different kind of war, a war within. Oh God, shoot me. But anyways, like, yeah, he said the thing. So I just feel like there's been no like high stakes, and seeing Illyria get like viciously ripped open by Xal'atath and the Blade of the Black Empire, and like the way she like fell so limply. I just like, I hope she's dead, because that's just like, I think that is a well-deserved send-off, I guess.
It's just a flesh wound.
I don't want to do
She'll
this.
Be back.
Yeah. I just don't like when they keep doing this thing where they like fake kill off a character and then they come back. It's like, just, I don't know, have the gall to just send one off.
I agree, man. Like, and not to say the characters haven't died over the years, but just, and this is literally the off the top of my head, Khadgar, who's in a wheelchair, Illyria, she's probably fine. Sylvanas, who's died like 18 times, and I know there's like lore reasons why she's not dead, but Sylvanas is still, she's showing back up. Thrall's been in and out of the picture for decades now. Like, oh, I'm going on vacation. Oh no, I have to be called back into battle. And not to say that I don't like some of these characters. I love Thrall, right? I love Illidan. I don't want Illidan to die. Illidan's my boy. But then it's like you have Arthas, like, and I'm not saying that we need to redeem Arthas or anything like that, but Arthas, what happened to him in Shadowlands? Like, his little wisp just blinked out of existence. Like, of all the characters to permanently get rid of, you get rid of Arthas, one of the most iconic and coolest characters ever, and they're just like, nah, we don't need him anymore. Let's focus on Illyria Windrunner for a couple of years. It's just like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I do like Illyria. I think she has an incredible story, but I'm just like,
you just
I want there to be more
death
in this game.
You want there to be. You want it to mean something. I want to feel something. When I thought Khadgar
I'll remember
was
this
like,
raid.
They're doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll remember this raid so much more if it was the raid that Illyria died in, like compared to, she fell into a pit and then we found her in the Twisting Nether and she was fine and actually more powerful through the power of friendship and love. And like, I think it can set some pretty cool story arcs going forward with like Turalyon and our boy, Arathor, that guy,
yeah, their son. It does make me wonder, like,
your son.
Yeah, you mentioned her being more powerful than ever. I have thought about the fact that, okay, we don't know her fate yet. Will she be back? And if she is, is she going to somehow magically, no pun intended, still be this OP character, even though she doesn't have the Naru? What is it called? The Dark Naru? What are they called?
It is a Dark Naru.
A Dark Naru, yeah.
Her specific one is Lura. The last boss,
the Daru.
So I like, is she still going to be somehow this super strong, magical entity, even though she doesn't have Lura anymore? Does she get Lura back at the end of the raid
with his light, and she comes back as a light elf?
That's an innuendo if I've ever heard of one, but nevertheless,
I should have chosen different phrasing.
yeah.
Illyria. Let's see here. So we talked a minute ago about the class tuning. Are either one of you guys getting hit hard or being buffed on Tuesday that you know of?
Prot Warrior
I
got a little
don't
buff.
think it's like they're very minor. Like most of the tank changes were pretty minor, and if all like any.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Sean has any thoughts, but it's like I feel like they got hit with their big adjustments last week.
Yeah,
and I think future changes are kind of looking pretty dull.
Yeah, I'm looking at the notes. I just pulled them up. Looking at the notes for the 24th. I don't see anything for any tank as far as I can tell. See some rogue stuff. So Elemental's getting a big buff. That Gratz Elemental Shaman. Congratulations. See some healer buffs. Resto Shaman's getting a little buff. Resto Druid's getting a buff. That's nice. I know for Beastmaster's getting a 5% damage buff. I don't think that because I try to read up. I try to read up and keep up to date on all these changes and whatnot. I don't think this change is going to propel BM to the top spot in terms of hunter damage, but of course it helps. I know Marksmanship Hunter. I think I'm trying to remember here. I think it's a single target buff by a few percentage, and a 2 to 3 target nerf by a bit of damage as well, which is arguably needed, because if you go look at the data and whatnot, then you look at your Lightbringer mark. Man, that's why I was so upset to miss heroic Lightbringer the other night, man, when my power was out. But nevertheless,
Yeah.
So
If the Beastmaster pets can't hit the enemies, what is the 5%? What's 5% of 0 is still 0, right? So
That is correct,
My math
sir.
checks out,
Indeed,
yeah.
indeed. Yep.
math checks out.
I think I have yes. So on this topic, you guys know who Zorthus is, right?
That's a tomato, right?
Let's see.
Never heard of
Yeah. Tomato head guy. Yeah. So Zorthus, I
we
think
can call him Tomato Head.
is that a Fortnite thing?
I just feel like that's got to be offensive in some way. to
No,
somebody
I mean,
to call
look,
him
I'll
Tomato.
fast forward. Look, I'll fast forward to the end of his video. He's a literal tomato. I've had him on the show. He is a tomato head. All right,
All right. Yeah.
that is not derogatory. That is a fact. But anyway,
It's a physical description. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
he,
All right.
he released a video, I think it was last night, about the changes and whatnot. And I'm pausing his video. I'll link the video in the description below on YouTube. But I'm pausing the video right here on the changes that the way everything's mathing out. Like Devour is getting a 10% single target buff. Yeah, Hunter's getting a 4% single target buff and a big 2 to 3 target nerf. Looks like Devastation, Evoker, Demonology Warlock are getting a 4% nerf, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, look at poor little BM Hunter all the way down here. Literal bottom of the meters. Poor Beast Mastery.
Good.
Remember how strong... What? Remember how
Good. It's
strong
really
Dark Ranger BM was at the end of the War Within? Those were the days. Those were the
Exactly.
days.
Exactly. You got to take your season off.
That's right.
You're got to be at the bottom now. You were at the top. Now you're at the bottom.
So sad.
The cycle
so
of WoW
sad.
continues.
It's
Anyway,
I got elemental shaman friends who try to make me feel bad. Like, oh, look at how bad we are. Like, teams are literally stacking 3 of you for Demencius. Like, I'm never gonna feel bad for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my goodness. But what and Zorthus says this in his video, and the first thing I think a lot of us think about is these changes are pretty nice and pretty much expected and whatnot. But most of us still don't have 2-piece, let alone 4. I'm sure a lot of people have 2-piece. I have 0-piece right now. Most people don't have 2-piece, let alone 4-piece. We don't have our best in slot trinkets. We don't have a lot of item level yet, et cetera, et cetera. So like you said, Sean, we still have weeks ahead of us where tuning will continue to take place and outliers will be handled and so on and so forth. So all I know is that marksmanship still needs huge buffs and beast mastery still needs ginormous buffs, and survival just needs to die. So ultimately, as long as those 3 things are accomplished, I'm happy. No
Yeah,
kick,
that's fair.
no funny jokes this time, gentlemen. No hunter
You just
jokes.
seem-
No.
Yeah, you seem really upset
letting you
about
have
this
this one.
hunter thing. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Just letting you
that.
vent.
Thank you. Livel in Twitch
It's
chat
okay,
says
Brutal.
I agree. Livel on Twitch chat says I agree on Beast Mastery buffs. I agree. In all seriousness, Beast Mastery is has been. I don't think this 5% buff is going to be enough to really. I don't think it'll be enough to make it like super competitive. But of course, those who prefer and favor BM will obviously benefit and appreciate it for obvious reasons. So that's nice. Druish says remove Beast Mastery, give taming to marksmanship and survival, and problem solved. No, don't. How dare you?
I always get, so we see these single target, here's the single target rankings where these things
Mhm.
all the classes fall. But I always wonder, like, how much of that actually applies to the rating environment we're in? How many of the bosses are actually pure single target? And then you also have to factor, like, well, these classes are also going to do. You have to assume they're going to do a dungeon. So,
Mhm.
so sure, Beastmaster might have really low single target, but is there multi-target? Is there AOE through the roof? Like, are we in a situation where they're like, yeah, I can do 400 million DPS and
No,
trash
so-
packs, but
Beast Mastery is like if you're a Beast Mastery fan and you play Beast Mastery, this 5% buff just across the board is a 5% buff, and that's great. And you're gonna do just fine in your Mythic 2s, your 5s, even your Mythic 10s. You're not going to not kill a raid boss, or you're not going to not time a key just because you have a BM Hunter. But ultimately, marksmanship is just outperforming it in every measurable way right now. It's just really, really strong. It's one of those things to where I'm a big believer and a big fan of play what you want to play and play what makes you happy kind of a deal. None of us, I mean, even the three of us, obviously, we're not race to world first people. We're not even top 10, top 50 world raiders or anything like that. So unless you're vying for 0.1% title over here, it doesn't really matter that much when you pick what you want to play with your buddies and your guild and whatnot. But arguably, marksmanship's really strong, and it's still going to be, objectively better and stronger than BM at the moment. So, and when I say BM, I mean Beast Mastery, okay? Not Brewmaster, for the record. Not comparing myself to monks over here. You know what? I haven't heard anything about Windwalkers.
Yeah, monks are weird.
All expansion. Does anyone play Windwalker right now? I've heard nothing about them. Nothing. I haven't even seen one.
Yeah, I thought they deleted that spec.
I gotta be honest with you, I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, what's a Windwalker? What?
I'm serious.
what did
I've
they use?
heard a lot about Mistweavers
Really
because we
close.
hear a lot
Is that
about
the new
healers at all.
Drakthir?
I've heard a lot
think
about
so, yeah.
Brewmaster because it's been really strong. I've heard nothing about Windwalker. I haven't even thought about that until right this moment. That's crazy.
Monks?
I haven't played it much, but it went through some changes and some people aren't super happy about it. It does good damage. Like, it's just like middle of the pack right now. It's just you also have Brewmaster being strong. So if you are considering it for a comp, whether it's for Mythic Plus or rating, you're probably if you're considering it just for raid buff, you're probably going to just bring a Brewmaster. So
Yeah.
they don't offer anything super unique anymore. Like, other classes have fine damage profiles that do exactly what Windwalker does. So
Oh, by the way, I completely neglected to talk. So the whirlwind of getting the show up off the ground today because we had to swap. Sean stepped in at the last moment and saved today. So again, thank you, Sean, for being amazing, and thank you, Shaw, for just being here. I don't want to pretend or act like,
Always.
Thank you, man. I just want to give credit where credit is due. But anyway, the point is, I forgot to mention, those of you who are watching this live, you can answer the poll. You can answer the polls. We have a bunch of polls going right now. Type in the command poll. And also, if you have a question for any of us on the show today, you can type in the command question, and some of your question will capture it there. But I just want to go through a couple of polls real quick. The first question asks, what are you focusing on most right now? And most people say, almost half of everyone says raiding, probably because that's the only thing out right now of any significance. But 33% of people say they are waiting for Mythic Plus. And, I think we all technically fall into that category right now. As much as I like raiding, I'm very much looking forward to the real start of the season with Mythic raiding and Mythic Plus in a couple of days. Wow, this is
Love
this
Mythic
is
Plus.
crazy. You really? I didn't know that.
oh yeah, I dabble.
Oh, okay.
I dabble in Mythic Plus.
I'll invite you to a group then. Maybe I'll show you the ropes this season.
Yeah, that'll be good. If we can start with the +2, that'd be good as well.
I think we all have to start with. Dude, correct me if I'm wrong. We're joking. I'm obviously, we're joking right now, but I want to make sure that we do speak to our audience. The way that we get a key is we all have to run a Mythic 0 first this week, right? Then we get a key, and then we start leveling that up. Is that correct? Or do we get one out of our vault?
You won't get one out of your vault, but you should be able to talk to Lindormi and immediately get a +2 without running a 0.
I like that. I hope that's true. Is that is that how it worked in the War Within?
Yes,
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Unless they
struggling to
changed it
remember
for some reason.
Yeah,
It's funny actually. Druish, my main mod, he did literally. He has a +2 key in his bag right now from his delve. He got it from his delve. Doesn't do anything. It doesn't have any affixes attached to it, but he does have it.
That's crazy.
He does in fact
that's
have
rare.
the key.
working isn't
That's
dead.
crazy. I'm like checking my bags right now.
You could sell that, Drush. The next question asks,
Yeah.
would you use an all-in-one add-on suite? And this is pretty much a split all the way across the board between yes, I already do, yes, I'm interested, maybe, and no. So a nice even split across the board there. The next question asks, how has normal and heroic rating felt so far? And about half the people said pretty good. And only 20% of people said really, really fun. Interesting. A third of the responses they have mixed feelings. Oh, that's sad. And then right here, 66% of people say, how does class balance feel right now? Mostly fine. And 33% of people say it needs a lot of work. I wouldn't go so far as to say it needs a lot of work. I think they're making some pretty good progress this week, right? With the changes that we've been talking about. Nevertheless,
I'd like to think so. I wish I had any more input than that. I
Yeah,
just
that's the
don't
thing, I just-
DPS, and I don't really
right. I only play my
Yeah,
hunter right
it's-
now.
right. And then it's on top of that, it's like it's hard to tell because you can easily look at Sims and be like, oh, the classes are not balanced. But then you go into raid and you might be playing with like a crazy good Shadow Priest who like is
Mhm.
outperforming a better spec who, and they're just maybe not like stronger. They're getting used to the fights and they didn't do beta testing or whatever. And I think in like a realistic scenario, it's really hard to tell if class balancing is all over the place, even though it might be according to Sims, because 99.9999% of players cannot play like their Sims. So
Yeah.
I haven't really noticed the class tuning too much. I think it'll be more apparent in Mythic Plus when people start pushing, because it's like more of a concentrated pool of like players and or like classes, obviously in a comp. So yeah, I don't know. I think they're making moves here. Like the last two set of notes that they've announced, plus the 0.5 changes that are going to be coming in a few weeks, I think is moving the game in a good direction,
Mhm.
at least balancing wise. That's just like my small opinion of being a dumb tank.
No,
I
you're,
just get hit in
you're,
the face.
you're not dumb. Hey, you know what? Hold on. Tangent. Shard _ XDD says, oh my God, that Shaw
This
guy
guy?
is such a dork. However, you can't spell shard without Shaw. So who's the dork now, huh?
I actually keep reading that name wrong. I think it's Shaw RDXDD.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's canon. That is
Yeah.
lore accurate, as they say.
It's
This
actually just
guy.
Shaw's burner account.
Yep.
just
Yeah, that's
him.
actually me.
Typing on his
Yeah.
phone. I'll show these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farm engagement. Let's go.
All right, so they announced 1205 a couple of weeks ago. They did have development notes this week, of course. A couple of things that really stood out here. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom real quick. Are there any Demonology Warlock players out there? Because Demonology Warlocks, they're losing their second interrupt. How sad is that? Poor Demo players. Isn't that sad? Wish we all had
Both
two
good.
Yeah,
interrupts.
they always get beat up so much. They're never meta. They're never strong.
No, never.
It must be so sad. Yeah.
Let's get back to the class that matters, marksmanship hunters. So I made it wasn't really a
yeah.
joke. I was being honest at the top of the show. I literally just learned how to play marksmanship again over the last few days. And wouldn't you know it, in 1205 they are completely redoing marksmanship. So I'm gonna have to relearn it again in however many weeks. For anyone who hasn't been keeping up, they're getting rid of, God, man, bullet hell is a big one right now. We use bullet hell to it's just part of our rotation. You keep an eye on, it's a buff, and you keep an eye on it, whatnot. But they're getting rid of that, and they're bringing back explosive shots, and it's just like, my God, man, this is crazy. I'm just gonna go back to BM. I'm just gonna be a permanent BM player. It's all my brain can handle right now. I see some Guardian changes. Anything going on with you guys? Brewmaster, Guardian, anything like that? Oh yeah, I see some Brewmaster stuff here.
Yeah, there's Brewmaster changes that I can kind of talk about. There's been a big problem ever since they kind of like released Midnight Beta. And not all classes are like this, but what they did is a lot of classes, they took their tier set from like season 3 and they baked it into your hero talent tree. Again, like I said, not all classes, but most.
Right.
But there was like this really weird design issue because they've also reworked a lot of the points in the spec tree where there's just like a thing that's not interacting all that well, which is our Harmonic Surge, which is a buff that we get whenever we Hex Smash or cast Celestial Brew or Infusion, depending on which challenge you're playing. And so what was happening is you're constantly gaining stacks faster than you can actually discharge them with your filler from Tiger Palm. And so you're indefinitely like just sitting at 6 stacks basically the whole time. And that feels bad because it's a damage waste, but it's inefficient to just spam Tiger Palm to get rid of them. So what they're doing is they're now making Tiger Palm discharge all of the stacks that you have. So you can pool it and then use it for burst damage. And it should just be like straight up a buff because we're actually going to be able to use them. So that change is really good. And I'm excited for that. I don't know much about the Guardian Druid changes. I feel like that class was super bugged. They nerfed it, but I don't know what these changes are. But I think Demon Hunter is getting a slight buff on Vengeance, which is pretty good. We like Vengeance Demon Hunter. Especially when they have 49 sigils to use.
Could anybody else just sit and listen to Shaw talk about monks?
Absolutely.
Like, for hours. His voice is very soothing. He sounds like if
thought I
they
got
were to
disconnected
make real monks, it would be him. Like it's
Listen, I want to give credit where credit is due. Oh, go ahead.
I appreciate it. No, I was gonna just say my Twitch chat was bugging me not bugging me. They were bullying me the other day that I sound like the class hall mount. I forgot.
Oh my
Gulan or
God.
whatever
Can you
his name
say
is.
hello, Grandmaster? So good to see you again.
No, because I don't want to get clipped.
Nobody's gonna clip it. Chat promises.
I don't want to.
Shaw.
It'll be
RD.
copyright infringement if I.
There's
say
no
it.
copyright. Dude, you just gotta. I'm trying to find somebody who sounds like Astle to say "Good job, Sean," or "Sean, you're a good boy." But I went to Cameo to check that voice actor out. He's not on Cameo, which is unfortunate.
Oh,
But,
he's not on Cameo. That's so unfortunate.
No, but I love it. But I just need you to say hello, Grandmaster. So good to
Hello,
see you again."
Grandmaster. So good to see you again.
Well done. Well done.
It's
Well
wild.
done.
You do sound
Oh
a
man,
little bit.
it's
I was. Go
yeah,
ahead.
you
Go
guys
ahead.
were just so enthralled by me talking about Brewmaster. I thought I disconnected. You guys were just sitting there in silence. I was like, oh,
No, I mean, the reason I got into podcasting is entirely selfish. I love listening to people talk about things they're passionate about. Like that is my
Mm.
happy spot. And you are a perfect example. I will just listen to
thank
you speak.
And he's leaving. He's
Yeah,
too
he's like,
embarrassed
all right,
now.
that's enough. This is too
Too
weird
embarrassed.
for me.
my dog wants to.
Yeah, it's
come in.
it's
all.
it's really good stuff.
Yeah.
Honest to goodness, if Brutal had said, "Hey, you want to come listen to Shaw talk about Brewmaster for 90 minutes?" I would have just sat here silently, like the
Yes.
students at the front of the row and
Great content.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Hell yeah,
Well,
W.
Listen, I
Well,
want to.
thank you. I
I
appreciate that.
want to give credit where credit is. And Shaw can back me up on this. I was because we were like scrambling to find a third guest, because the other one fell through, and I'm like, okay, I just reached out to Sean, and Shaw's like, oh, I know Sean. Sean's a good guy. I'm like, yeah, man. And then I started saying, I love how Sean, he's so articulate and he speaks so clearly and so well, and I love just having conversations with him. I said all this is true, right, Shaw? Shaw, no, come on.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not being
definitely. We weren't
serious.
definitely talking.
I'm. It's.
Yes,
this
you
is
did.
not a bit. This sounds like he set me up, man. He set.
I want to know how far down the list I was. How many other people did you message
Got 'em.
before you got to
One.
me?
There was only one.
32
Okay.
was
No,
the
no, no,
number.
no, no, no. Listen, I reached out to no. No. I reached out to Jedith. Okay, I'll explain why. I reached out to Jedith first because last week the joke was Jedith had a crown in his webcam corner because he was the guest who had the most appearances on the show because it was the first show of the new season. He was the only person who's shown up twice. And that was the running gag. And then I said, oh, it'd be funny if I invited you back every week so you could just keep the crown. And he's like, yeah, we should do that. So I did. I reached out to him saying, hey, are you there? And he wasn't there. So I'm like, okay, now let me reach out to who else. And I was just looking for the little green dot in Discord. And you were right there, baby. And I'm like, so what you doing? And you saved the day. And I swear to God, even though Shaw's throwing me out of the bus, I did. I said, I love listening to this guy talk.
He did. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that makes two of us. I also love the sound of my own voice.
Big W.
Anyway, 1205 talent changes and class changes and reworks and stuff. I love when I don't know, man. Maybe this is really stupid to say out loud, but I love when the game feels fresh and feels dialed in. I love when and this might be a really weird take for DPS, but I love when I'm not like miles ahead of everyone. I love fighting for damage. I love being like, oh man, that Shadow Priest is barely ahead of me. Oh man, that Subtlety Rogue is 3% ahead of me. I gotta catch him. Like I gotta do just a little bit better. So it sucks when someone's 20-30% ahead of you on damage because then it's like, well, what's the point? It's like I can't do anything. I can't keep up with this though. I hope that as the season unfolds, whether it be 1205, 1207, with the new raid coming out in 1207 and so on and so forth, I hope that players feel competitive and they feel like they can hold their own, because to me, that's when the game is fun. I don't know if you guys agree with that. That's how I feel.
No, big agreed. The game, I think we're in a situation now, like Ian did an interview last year, I think it was, maybe the year before, where they were talking about balance and how the game is better balanced in this era than it has ever been. The community still cries about balance basically nonstop, but we are, as far as the history of the game, we're as close to balance as we've ever been. And it does, you're right, it does feel better this way. And as long as we're not shutting down Discords because we're unhappy, I think
Hey man, it worked, didn't it?
yeah, I guess it did work. It did work, yeah. But
I know you were the mastermind. You were the mastermind behind that. You played Paladin. I can read between the lines.
I did play Paladin. I don't ever. Occasionally, I will go to the Paladin Discord to the prot section, like super occasion. When I say occasion, I mean like once every 6 to 8 months. I don't think I've ever been to the ret section. It's like most.
You're not missing much. Whatever. I said what I said. Rets.
Yeah.
So Shaw, let's talk about Mythic Plus a little bit here. Shaw did me a huge favor, and he, prior to the episode a couple of days ago, he's like, "Hey, listen, Brutal, I really want to talk about these things." And I said, "Absolutely, best questions ever, right?"
You laughed at me, and you said these are the worst things ever. I'll replace them all. Yeah, but I like your version of it where you were just like glazing me. So let's keep to that story.
That doesn't sound like me. I don't know what you're talking about. No, Shaw, for real. Thank you. I
screenshotting it right now. Yeah.
I genuinely love when people are they participate and they are involved and whatnot. But yeah, man, let's talk about Mythic Plus. It literally starts in, what did it say? So 2 days, right? It starts in 2 days. Shaw, as the since we average one title each between the three of us, and we all clearly have equal footing and great perspective across the board here, I'm going to allow you to start first because I'm that kind of guy. How should people be prepared? Shaw, S-H-A, Shaw.
Oh, okay. All right.
Shaw.
All right.
Sorry. Okay. Joking aside. How are we preparing for the season? What should people be doing these last 2 days? What should people be doing this first week? What matters when Mythic Plus opens?
Oh boy. So it depends on your level, right? Like it depends on your goals and what you expect to do and the group you're playing with. But personally, as a tank player, and this is something that tanks probably stress a lot about, which is routing. And what's cool about Mythic Zeros this week is you can run them indefinitely. You won't get loot every time, but if you wanted to like practice routes or the pull cadence for certain things, you can definitely start doing that this week. And just you can spam run like Seed of the Triumvirate or Myasara Caverns or Pit of Sauron or whatever dungeon you need to that feels a little bit more hectic in terms of routing compared to something like Skyreach, which is like hold W. And routing is like the biggest thing because once you get routing down, then you can start focusing on like, oh, okay, this pull really hurts and I'm going to want a defensive here, or like this mob really is hard to deal with. So in terms of prep, I always go into these seasons starting with routing and then developing and learning as the time goes on, because keys feel different obviously as they scale, and some pulls that are really easy or doable in a low key won't be doable in a high key, especially as we're gearing. So prepping routes is probably the biggest thing I do personally, but I'm not sure about Sean here. But yeah, that's my tank advice at least.
What are your thoughts on? I'm going to take over the hosting of the show for a second. What are your thoughts on the Lindormi affix that's coming? That is going to give tanks up to +5 a guided route that will give you 100%.
I think it's really good. I have like a lot of thoughts on it because I think there's so many flaws with it that could be better. Not flaws in a bad way where it's like hurt or like damaging to players, but most of the time +2s, unless your group's like really undergeared or you have like a ton of deaths, you're probably going to at least +2 it, if not +3 if you're like a coordinated group, which means you're going from +2 to +4 or 5, and chances are you'll probably also +2 or +4. I know that's a lot of plus numbers, but it's like you're out of that category so quickly, and the only way to get back into it is by dropping your key. And so if you like first key, you start with like a Sky Reach and it's just hold W and it doesn't matter if mobs are highlighted. And then the next key you get is like Magisters and also doesn't matter because you just hold W and all the mobs are highlighted. But then all of a sudden your next key is like a +6 pit and then you don't know what to pull. It's like, well, drop your key. And that feels bad that you're going to be incentivized if you don't know the routes to drop your key to learn. I do think that Fellowship did this a lot better in their most recent season. I hate bringing up Fellowship because it's a WoW podcast, but Fellowship did a very
No, it's all good.
similar fix. But it lasted all the way up until, I don't know, like Eternals, which is like the highest level of content in that game.
Mhm.
And the strength of it would weaken per like level you jump up to in bracket. So for in WoW, in this case, the mobs have 10% less health and deal 10% less damage, if I remember correctly. And so that could diminish over time all the way up to +10s. I think would be a good solution. So players can interact with the effects longer without feeling the need to have to drop their keystone just to interact with the effects. That's, I think, my biggest gripe with it. But I think overall it's really good for the game. And I do have like a small video on it showcasing it. I'm not sure if you want me to send you that, Brutal, but you can like link it down below too.
Please. Absolutely,
if you'd
man.
like.
I would love to. Yes, in all seriousness.
But it's a great effects overall especially for new tanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
I love
I'm
it.
feeling pretty good about it.
I echo your thoughts entirely. It +10 is the cap for loot in the vault. It's going to be the goal that I think a lot of people push for. Some people are,
Yep.
you know, that could be maybe your end season goal is +10s, and that's cool. But even working up to that point, especially if you're a tank, because there's such a shortage of tanks, having even if the health and is it health and damage done, even if that is dropped
believe
off
so.
by 5, and it was just the pathing up to 10s.
Mhm.
It's such a big hurdle for new tanks and for returning tanks, just knowing what to pull. And it could be such a huge point of stress if you're not. So like I play in fixed groups with guildies and friends, and I'm sure Shah has a team as well that he plays in. So it's there's like a little bit less pressure for us. You know what I mean? My friend Brandon's not going to be like, "What are you doing? You're an idiot. You pulled the wrong packet." Actually, he might, but other people won't say that to me.
Sounds like friendship. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, also there's not as much stress for me in that situation if we're off count by a little bit. But for pug tanks or new tanks, that stress is definitely there. And I don't think it benefits just tanks, because it also benefits if the DPS knows, hey, this is the way we're going. This is the next pack we're pulling. It can help them to figure out what cooldowns to line up. It can help them to know what mobs to skip. Yeah, I just
not only that, but we got to keep in mind that lets the hunters just go ahead and misdirect pull for the tank too. They can see 3, 4, 5 packs ahead. Just pew pew pew, baby.
They're gonna just pull it all.
I'm sorry, that was a stupid joke to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. Please
No,
continue.
it's okay.
No, that's
you're a
a
hunter.
good one.
Shaw and I are used to it.
All right.
Yeah, interrupting our keys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think it's a good FX. I would also love to see it extended up to 10, because you're right. You're going to plus almost. I don't know anybody who's not at least +2ing their 2s. Like those, you're going to work out of that so fast. I think that's really good. I'm really excited for the season. From a perspective, so obviously you tank, you have a group that you're working with, and you practice. You can probably hear my dog bark. I'm going to get her water as soon as I ask this
It's all
question.
good, dude. No worries.
You can so you're practicing routes, you're getting everything ready to go. What do you once you have your routes, what's your next step? Like, where do you go from there?
Great follow-up question.
Yeah. So it really depends. So I play with friends mostly and guildies, and I have a group. But if we ever wipe, it's never I don't think we ever really blame each other. It's more like, hey, that was like tough. What can we do instead? And then we start kind of iterating on the route for our group, because it's easy to look at like what a meta comp might do. And if you're not playing the meta comp, you can't necessarily like replicate the exact strategies. For example, like Demon Hunter Sigils or like Solar Beam in previous seasons, where it's like, wow, you can pull a bunch of casters, group them up, and then Solar Beam them. But it's like, you can't do that with a full melee comp. So like we start iterating on our route slightly, whether we want to invis-pot, what we're going to cool down, who's watching kicks, how we're structuring the pull. We start changing all of that stuff as we run. And it's a thing that develops over time. Because something that's doable in a +6 will maybe not be possible in a +12 or a +17 or whatever it ends up being. So as we go up in levels, as soon as we start noticing a potential issue, we start talking about how we can kind of like alleviate that pain point in the dungeon. So that'd be like the next step, but that only really matters if I shouldn't say it only matters, but it has more of an impact if you're playing with like a set group. If you're playing in a pug, you might notice something as a tank, be like, oh man, it was like really hard to get that caster in. So maybe I'll like change my route for the next pug run and how I pull this. So it's more like experimenting personally, but it's easier to do it as a group too.
I love that. For the non-wrinkly brains in the chat, myself and everybody else who isn't Shaw, if you're looking for a route, you're going to Shaw. Yeah, he's the guy figuring this stuff out. But for the rest of us, there is tools that you can use. Radar.io actually launched last season their own dungeon route mapping. You can type in your exact comp and see the actual path, like for completed keys of that comp. So let's say I want to copy Shaw's group exactly because that's what I'm running this season. Yeah, I can look up his actual runs, and if he streamed it or has a VOD of it, it shows the VODs. You can see the pulls in real time as they're happening. So it's really easy to copy that information. I'm gonna run and let my dog go.
That's fine, dude. Thank you for letting us know about that. That's awesome. I remember Radar.io.
It's a great tool.
Yeah, they announced that however many months ago, I think, and I had actually forgotten about it because I haven't been running Mythic Plus on live, of course. So that's awesome, man. Hey, we were talking. You mentioned something about kicks a moment ago. Have you looked into like the new Omni CD and the new kick tracker and stuff like that's been floating around?
No, I haven't. I was linked it by a few people. It felt like I don't know if it's publicly available still, like now on CurseForge, but before it was like kind of a back end black market secret that was like bypassing private ors and stuff. And I just felt weird doing that. I also don't like random people on Discord sending me random links to things. Yeah,
didn't we?
You know, like I'm
did
very
we talk about that before Did we talk about that before the show?
We did.
Don't click those links.
Now that was for. That was for phishing scams, but yeah, I felt uncomfortable using those weak orders, or add-ons. Honestly, though, like this season, unless you're going crazy ballistic with your pulls, you probably won't have more than one, maybe two casters. Like there are not a lot, and I think during beta, the big talk was like, wow, there's all this bolt slop. I think was the term that was being thrown around.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like the case. Like they've definitely Blizzard was very intentional with them removing specific mobs, especially in things like Pit of Sauron. So honestly, like kick tracking isn't even that important because more often than not, you have one caster, and as a tank, if you know there's a caster, just set focus to it, or you're going to prioritize that mob, and you're just going to kick it whenever it casts, and it's going to be absolutely a-okay.
Yeah, I know. For me,
I don't think it's like too much crazy. Yeah,
I agree. Sorry. No, I was going to say I agree. I also, months ago when all the changes were hitting the internet and we were getting into beta and stuff, and I admit I was one of the people that was like, oh man, I can't believe they're not gonna be able to track kicks and weak ors are gone. And of course I do miss weak ors because I loved weak ors. At the end of the day, dude, I have a very clean UI right now, and I love the fact that I'm not tracking kicks and I'm not tracking everyone's cooldowns, and it's wide open, and my UI feels very uncluttered, and I can just focus on I mean, I'm a hunter, but I can just focus on what I'm doing, and I'm not really worried about what every other person in the group is doing at any given moment, and it just feels good. And I guess it's kind of like that's to be expected, like a no duh kind of a situation. But
did you use Omni CD did you used to use Omni CD and track everyone's cooldowns in your group?
So I did just because, I guess just to back up a second, and that's why Sean is the coolest guy in the. Oh, hey Sean, welcome back, buddy. We were just talking about you a moment ago.
Were you making fun of my Superman pajama pants?
No, hey dude, I've got Star Trek pajama pants on. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Look at this TNG, baby.
Awesome.
So I had referenced that I had played tank for 10 years. I was also a guild lead and raid lead during that time, so I was so used to tracking everything, having notes on my screen and cooldown trackers. So as Warlords of Draenor segued into Legion and Mythic Plus became a thing, it was still just very normal and comfortable for me to always have 1,000 things on my screen, just watching what everyone else was doing, because that's just the way that my brain worked. And when I quit in Shadowlands and I played a little bit of Dragonflight, played a little bit of the War Within, I still had a lot of those elements to my UI, but I realized that I just didn't care as much anymore. I didn't feel like it was as necessary anymore, so I started to trim the fat a little bit. And now, of course, at Midnight, I have none of that because it's just not available to us for the most part. Yeah, exactly. So it's nice. It's nice. It's nice to just have. It's nice just to worry about me, I guess, is the point. I don't know.
Yeah, selfish hunters. Yep. Typical.
Yeah. Just misdirecting tanks. No big deal. It's all good. I don't remember why we got into that topic, but nevertheless, welcome back, Sean. We missed you.
Thank you.
CERN asks a question. I talked about this in the episode last week. So CERN asks, what was that misdirection add-on you have again? For hunters and warlocks, particularly those two classes, there's an add-on called Sentinel Hunter Tools, which does a phenomenal job helping you keep track of your pets, your misdirect for hunt. It has something called Smart Misdirect, which just automatically knows what you should be or who you should be misdirecting. If you're soloing, it'll automatically MD your pet. When I say auto, I mean when you press the keybind, not literally auto. But like, you don't have to set up a macro, you don't have to set up a focus target or anything like that. If you're in a Mythic Plus group, it'll automatically misdirect your tank. Same thing with a raid, etc., etc. So big fan, big advocate for Sentinel Hunter Tools. Download it. You'll thank me later. But anyway, welcome back, Sean. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I don't remember what I was saying other than that. So, you had mentioned, you both had mentioned that, well, I guess it was Sean who mentioned you run with a guild, or your guild. Shaw, you typically run with a group for your title pushes, correct?
Most of the War Within, yeah. This actual last season, we had like a little hodgepodge of people cycling in and out. Hashtag resilient keys. So yeah,
This is
mostly with the same group though. Yeah.
I ask because people ask this question all the time, and it is a topic that a lot of people seem to struggle with. But how do you find a group to push with? I have an opinion. I'm going to let you answer the question first, Shaw_IRL. And I would like to know your thoughts as well, Sean.
I'm glad you're
also
enunciating there. Yeah.
Just so everybody's aware, I am also real. This is not a bot.
Sure.
This is an AI? No?
Yeah.
Crazy. Beep boop. Finding a group. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I wish I had like a good answer.
Well, you're the one that asked the
different for
question, didn't you? What the heck, man?
Well, okay. All right. Throw me under the bus.
Listen, I have the receipts.
I think it's an interesting discussion point because it is a very common question. Like, how do you find a group? How do you like find people to play with consistently? And it's like, I wish there was an easy answer where it's like, just go to this site that has recruitment and like find a, like, there's no easy solution. And what I have found works best is networking, which no one wants to hear because ironically enough, we all play this extremely social game, this MMO, but I feel like most people are pretty antisocial and don't want to kind of like step out of their comfort zone. And this is something that I really struggled with for a really long time. Because I'd always loved pushing keys back in like previous expansions where I would try to push for title, but I'd always fall short just because like I didn't have a consistent group to play with and I would never network. But like finding a good guild is always a good start, right? Finding a guild that doesn't necessarily cutting edge raid or anything like that, but finding a guild where you like look at their like their roster and be like, oh, they have like 4 or 5 people who like to really do keys and have like decent IO. And if you join that guild, even if you don't raid and like trying to network with those people or just like getting to know them in the guild, like that's a really good place to start. And then as you run keys, or if you ever have to pug in anyone into your group, if someone plays really well and you notice that like they kick things and they use their CC and they do decent damage, just add them on BNet. And like that's I've now at this point of feel like I built up a pretty solid network of DPS and players and healers that I've been able to play with. And now it seems like kind of just like a secondary when it comes to like forming groups. I don't really have to pug anymore because I built up that network, and I know the network is good because I vetted it over years. So my advice is just like to network, and the best place to start is just find a guild that has players pushing, and then go through LFG.
Yep. Yeah, that's great. That is honestly, that's great advice. Like finding a guild is awesome. I recommend for anybody who's looking for a guild, as long as you're not an asshole, go to Visage. Visage is a community in game for like inclusivity. They have Visage approved guilds. Apply to those guilds because they're also people that are not assholes. There's there can be a lot of
I'm not allowed.
Very important.
Yeah. A lot of guilds at different levels have people that are not, not great to spend time with. But to Shaw's point, it also helps just be cool, be chill. When you're in key, like it's a dungeon, you're not going to time every dungeon. Keys, you might not realize this, but keys go up and down. So it's I guess that's necessarily gaming, but it's okay to not time a key. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. So just be cool, be chill with people. That'll help to get you added. That'll help to get you invited back to groups. And if you're somebody who just wants to push keys and sort of do it in a low stakes environment, and you're like, you know what, I don't really want to make friends. I would prefer to just pretend they're bots. You could join communities like No Pressure, which is primarily EU focused, but it's this huge, like 15,000 plus member community where they do keys. They post the key and the difficulty level, and like it's a chill group or it's a learning group or it's a push group, and you just sign up, and then you're thrown into a queue with a bunch of other people that meet their criteria. Very low stakes to get into those groups. Very fun. And places like for North America, there's Oasis, Dungeon Dojo also do keys, and then just find people that are at your level. And just like Shaw said, there's no better advice than build a network, add friends, and yeah, I guess.
And you're a
don't be
great
dick.
resource, Sean. Thank you for
Thanks.
no,
Yeah, I'm
thank you,
terminally
man.
online,
In all
and my
seriousness.
wife lives in a different province, so so I got a lot of
Hey,
time
man.
to look at this stuff.
No, nothing to
So long.
worry about, baby. You're helping people with the information you're doling out. So thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
I think this is all really good advice. You know, there are definitely Mythic Plus communities out there. There are in-game communities. There are out-of-game communities. And like you said, Shaw, as boring or as frustrating as it can be, networking is huge. Just adding people to your friends list, running with people, you know, spending time with them in keys. It really does wonders for your mental health in terms of not having to worry about toxicity time and time again, but also just getting comfortable and familiar with people and just finding, you know, that rhythm and that groove and whatnot.
I want to ask Shaw. I have a question for
Mhm.
Shaw. What is your biggest two-part question? What is your biggest red flag when grouping with somebody to be like, I don't think I want to regroup with this person? And what is your biggest green flag that says, hey, I need to get
Ooh,
Hone God X on my friend list?
Green flag is hunter.
that's a good
All
question.
hunters green flag.
Yeah. Just because you play a green class doesn't mean you're that
Green
color
flag.
flag. Yeah. My biggest red flag is generally, ironically enough, like, oh, no. It's like any kind of like social interaction that just seems like a little too hostile. Like if someone comes in and they like get all upset that we died in a key, like you were just kind of talking about, like most of the people I met and have played with who like, you know, do push title, normally a lot of them are pretty chill. Normally it's the people who are like, they this is gonna sound so bad. They think they're better than they are, and then they take it out on other people, thinking that everyone
Yep.
else is playing bad.
Yes.
And
You're
it's
the
like,
reason I'm stuck in.
you're the reason. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not the reason we just wiped here. Like, and so that's probably the biggest red flag is like any kind of hostility, or like people who just like give up, right? Like, oh, we wiped here, so I think it's over, and like I'm gonna make that decision, so I'm bouncing from the key or I'm throwing up a vote. That's a massive red flag to me, because the point of progressing these keys is to like workshop how can we as a group overcome this challenge in time. And so that's the red flag. And I've been in Discord with people who like lash out, and I've been like just in no comms where people will start vigorously typing all caps in chat. Why did you not kick, stupid monk? It's like, well, I didn't have a kick up if you were actually watching trackers, or maybe I did miss the kick and it's oops, my bad. It's like, it's all good.
Wait, what
it's a key.
trackers? What trackers? What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Trackers? What are you talking about?
trackers? Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
I watch
yeah.
Shaw's stream while we
trackers
do
on.
dungeons together, so I can judge in real time when he
Yep.
misses a kick. Is this podcast resilient?
Exactly. Oh no. Green flags though, I think generally it's people who try to like problem solve or troubleshoot or take accountability
Mm.
the other way around. So if someone's like, hey, sorry, like I missed my kick there, that's why we died, or that's why I died, or oh man, I had feint up and I didn't hit it. Definitely not definitely not reference
never-
anything.
Words you've never
No.
heard.
Yeah, it's like, it's when people take accountability, that's like a massive green flag, because it shows that they're aware that they're making the mistake and they're trying to correct it. Or if like we do fail a key, it's like, oh man, okay, what could we have done better? And they're like, let me pull up my footage. Like those kind of things are like really big green flags to me. And if I'm playing with someone for the first time and like that's the attitude they have, like I am adding them immediately, even if they aren't doing like the best damage that I've ever seen. If they have that, just like, I don't know, like the accountability part is huge. And so
Yeah.
yeah, because I want, like, that's how, those are the type of people that I like to play with, who will
Mhm.
you know, notice their own mistakes. So if you're also doing that, that means we're probably gonna to mesh pretty well.
I love that. Recruit people, not parses. That's great advice.
Yeah, I think the accountability portion of everything you just said is probably like the most important thing. I huge believer in that, man. Well said. Well said. Well, gentlemen, we've been having fun. I've just got a couple of questions left for you. But is there anything else you want to talk about in relation to Mythic Plus before I move us along to these last two topics?
Not on my end. I'm just chilling.
Nope.
The only question I have for you, Shaw, is what time we starting on Tuesday?
You're East Coast.
No, Central. We talked about this before the show.
Why do I think you're East Coast every time? I know
I
you
was
live...
2 years ago, so.
Okay, all right.
Shaw and I, we just found out we live like 3 hours apart. We're basically
Really?
neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
very close.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
gonna have a LAN party for
Walking
keys?
distance.
Yeah, I'll be over at 9 p.m. on Tuesday.
I got a computer right here, man. My son plays Fortnite on it. I can install WoW and we can game,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah,
We can
yeah,
game.
do an all nighter. I'll be on Tuesday evening. I work Tuesday, but I took Wednesday off to slam keys, so I'll
Smart.
be around.
Smart. All right. Well, if you see me on, feel free to drag me into a key. I'll do my best.
As long as you actually
Uh,
have MD on your bar, I
I'm-
think you'll do all right.
Listen, I may not be Banshers, but I am the same class. Okay.
Banchers, who's that? Never heard of him.
Whoa, moving on. Race to World first. Who you guys got? I asked this question last week. I'm gonna ask you guys again because the Race to World first technically I mean it has, but it doesn't really start for another 2 days for NA and 3 days for EU. Sean,
Mm.
I'm gonna start with you. Who do you got? Who do you got for Race to
I'm-
World first this tier?
Contractually obligated to say method.
Same, yeah, method. Yep, W
That
method.
can't
Let's go.
possibly be because you're hosting for them, right? Uh-huh.
I think it's gonna be a good race. I think we're in. I really, if we don't see tuning to make Mythic a little bit more difficult, I think it's gonna be a fast race. But I think
Oh,
overall it's gonna be a
agreed.
good race. That I just hope it doesn't. I hope the winner of the race isn't determined by who has the most sketchy tech that Blizzard didn't turn off yet, and that's my only concern.
I know that Max. I've talked about how Max has talked about how they have a collective Discord and they're constantly feeding each other in Blizzard like, hey, we found this because we don't want to be accused of cheating. We don't want to be accused of trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes. We want a fair race, blah, blah, blah. That's not to say that they haven't designed things that, every guild's probably going to have something a little different. Like tech, like you're saying, but I fingers crossed, knock on wood, blah, 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 that it is a fair race in as much of the sense of the word as possible.
Yeah,
But
they
I
did
am-
say all of that. And on Tuesday, when the raid went live, they went into the raid and he said, you're going to see some trackers on the screen and chat. I don't want you to be like, oh, look, they're cheating. We've told Blizz about this.
Right.
We've shown this to them. This is all above board. And within 24 hours, Blizzard removed the ability for them to be able to do that.
That does sound
So-
like Blizzard in all fairness. Thinking
so it
Blizz.
is exciting to
All right, so
see.
okay, well then, if you think Method's coming in first, who do you think's coming in second, Sean? Wink, wink.
Mm.
Mm,
I think Echo has a really strong chance this tier. They always play really well. They perform really well. It's hard to beat Mirrors when it comes to like just wrinkly brains, and they have
Dude,
great
he's
strat teams
phenomenal.
over there. And they do have good tech usually. So whatever the cutting edge of being able to, push exactly what they can push out of the system, I think it gives them a good shot. And yeah, I think they have a real good shot at going second.
You don't think there's any like is there anything to say about Liquid having three, like back to back world firsts? Like, do you think that comes into play at all?
If Liquid they're essentially the New England Patriots or the Kansas City Chiefs at this point. Like, if they play the way that they have played the last 3 tiers, it's a walk-off. Last tier was really, really close. Echo, like they were within like 0.1% of each other. That race was so tight. It's going to come down to which team plays best. And when you get to a point, well, I spoke to Max a couple of months ago, and one of the things that he mentioned was that he felt like they came out of the gate and they were missing some of that fire. And so he told me that they've taken action to make sure that doesn't happen this tier. But at some point, the champ gets tired. Like you don't have that same dog in you when you're trying to get the title if you're defending the title. So I think Well, all those players are amazing. They're all amazing players. Like I never in my life could dream to be as good as those players are. I do wonder if that drive to win might slip, just a little bit. Like okay, well,
I
we've
hear
won
you.
4 times.
Yeah. Yeah. Shaw, what about you, man? What are you thinking?
Oh man. I don't have much stakes in the race, I hope Liquid wins because, gotta rep I'm actually wearing the Liquid hoodie from
Oh, you are.
one A tier. I think this is
Look at that.
Ansurek. First of it doesn't matter. I'd like Liquid to win, obviously. But I don't even know the rosters. I haven't made attention, especially now that they're doing like heroic splits. Like I haven't tuned in normally, like I normally do, because normally the raid is actually out and where people are doing mythic while they're doing splits. But now that it's just like a split week, I'll tune in next week. But I just like the race. It's a fun time. So regardless of who wins, it's like the best time if you're a sweaty WoW player to be able to watch content 24/7 for a week or two.
Yeah.
So
It's
I'm
a lot
excited.
of fun.
But my opinion about who's going to win, I have no idea.
The real
Yeah.
winners are the viewers.
Yeah.
Amen. True.
Circling back to what you said a second ago, Sean, the whole tuning thing, and that'll be a big determining factor. That, of course, raises the question: is how long do you think this race is going to last? And I mean, again, not that I've had any polls on Mythic on live servers, none of us have, but at this moment, if I had to make a guess, I'd say it's not going to be a long race. I think it's going to be pretty cut and dry. Not to say that I want them to struggle and for it to drag on for weeks on end. That's not the case at all. I just hope it's not too quick or too easy,
April 4th, the race will end.
And is that
April
because of a Blizzard thing? Well, what's April 4th?
It's 5 days after the final 2 bosses become available on Mythic. So 2 days for splits, 3 days for Prague.
I mean, do you think they're going to focus too much on
Damn.
splits that week?
If there is power to be had that will help them to get that kill, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing. We have. I know everyone always brings up how a couple of guilds were able to test for like 20 minutes. The what's that boss called in the last boss in March of Quadranos?
Midnight Falls.
Midnight Falls.
Is the
Yeah, a
name
couple.
of the
There were
encounter.
a little bit of footage floating around, blah blah blah. But ultimately, we don't know very much at all in terms of how it's actually going to play out or the tuning as we've been discussing. So, yeah, man. I definitely want it to be a challenge both for them and us. This is my first tier rating in a long time, so I'm looking forward to getting in there and just grinding it out and just having fun with it. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to a good race nonetheless, though. How long are you in Europe with Method this tier?
Method is doing remote this tier, so myself.
You don't even have to fly out then.
Yeah, we just get to stay home. There's a few of us from North America, Bunton and Krista as well. So we're going to be local, which is great for my personal raid team. I don't have to adjust my sleep schedule
Yeah.
5 hours in the wrong direction. Yeah,
I
but
wanna-
it also would be cool to go to Germany.
I want to. That's true. My sister lives in Germany. It'd be a little family reunion. So I say this sincerely. So I hope you take this sincerely. I think that you are going to be phenomenal this tier at Race to World First coverage. I love how you break down information. I love listening to you talk, and it probably sounds like I'm just saying this because you're on the show right now and you did me and everyone a big favor by being here, but there's something about the way that you just pontificate and the way that you just deliver. It's just chef's kiss, man. So Shaw, you're okay too. Hey, you're fine too, Shaw. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm
But I'm
alright.
talking about
He's
the
alright.
Race to World First guy over here, okay?
Yeah. No, this is awesome. I'm excited to listen to Sean commentates over the method stuff, so it'll be good.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome,
Thanks. I
man.
appreciate that. You guys make my
Of course,
heart
buddy.
warm.
Aw. Well,
Warm heart.
You make-
W.
you make my Star Trek The Next Generation pants warm, buddy. Let's move on to the last section of the of the old podcast here. Real quick before we get out of here, Nightmare Prey. Do you guys have any opinion on Nightmare Prey this week now that it's out?
I love Prey. Sorry, I'm getting an amber alert.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, it's not amber. What's the color for old people that are lost? Anyway, it's gone.
That's a geriatric alert right there. Whatever. That's not a color, but that's what that is.
Yeah, is that what happened? I don't know what just happened. I loved Prey. No joke. I think Prey is amazing. I love Athel or Bloodsworn. The voice actor is incredible. If I could just get on loop a soundboard of him saying, "Sean, you're such a good boy," that would be really good for me. But it's fun. I think it's actually fun because you can go out while you're doing your world stuff. Everybody's sort of doing their world stuff right now to get your rep. Once your renown's maxed out, that'll probably stop for a lot of folks. But you just grab a prey, you go out, you pick up a dozen traps, and it'll blow up an ad. I've been really enjoying it. And it's a nice way to add to that hero track at the bottom of your great vault for this week. Anyway, next week, once we have Mythic Plus, that'll have less value. But
Yeah. You don't find the affixes for, and clearly I do, that's why I'm asking this question. You don't find the affixes on Nightmare level to be a little annoying? The whole, gotta kill a mob in like 15, I mean, not that it's hard to kill a mob in 15 to 20 seconds, but I find it to be, I know. I find it to be more tedious. I find it to be more annoying instead of it being this fun activity at Nightmare level.
As a tank, even if I don't kill something, it doesn't do anything. So the affixes might as well not exist for me. So I think they're great.
Okay, tank guy.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just a gimpy little hunter over here, okay? Forgive me for having a small HP pool.
It's the path you chose, man.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, wait. I do want to pull up what. Okay. I do want to pull up one
Sorry.
thing related to. I do want to pull up one thing related to Prey real quick. There is an add-on called Predator that you can. It puts a bar in your screen instead of just having the little crystal on your screen, and it's got a whole bunch of other settings right here. But it's. I'll link it in the description below. It's on CurseForge, blah blah. But it's called Predator, not Predator. Predator. But it's just a nice little add-on that kind of enhances the experience a little bit. But I personally like having bars on my screen to track things, and not having a bar for Prey was driving me nuts. So this is a nice little problem solved by a player, whoever you are. Thank you for making it. Last thing, and then I'm gonna get you guys out of here. Did you guys do the question mark delve boss, the Neleus? You guys are tanks.
No.
What?
It's I didn't want to go in and get it world first, so I just decided not to. And so you know, and I let other people, and I definitely wasn't busy and couldn't play during those 2 days or however long it was open for.
Well, that's the ultimate question. Like, do you have an opinion on the fact that like Blizzard released this thing? It's the middle of the day. There's a 4,000 player limit to get the Hall of Fame or the feat of strength, whatever it is. A lot of people were upset about it earlier this week. I mean, I personally don't care because it's like whatever. But I find that it was odd, right?
It's like I think it's cool that they're trying it. They need to find a balance because they did, like, obviously people loved Kaiveza. I also heard that this mini boss or this delve boss wasn't as engaging or was like more one-shotty than like anything, and you had to do some kind of unique stuff to get around that as different classes, which like that problem solving's fine, but getting one shot by White Swings isn't fun.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I haven't heard great things about this delve boss, and people just wanted it for the accolade because it's kind of the first time they're really like implementing it, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it though, because I think Blizzard is still like working out the kinks for systems like this and making delves like more attractive to players. But yeah, it's not something that I might do it at some point, but I never did Kaiveza, so who knows? I probably won't do
it does give you crests beyond the cap. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
It gives you heroic and mythic crests beyond cap.
You get those crests if you do it in a group as well. You don't have to solo. If you solo it, you get the mount, but you could go in with a group of 3 or 4 people and everybody gets the crests.
I soloed it this week, did not get the achievement or whatever it was, nor the mount, but I did solo it. How frustrating is that?
Interesting.
I got the crests, but I didn't get the mount. All right, we're done.
You already have pets. You have pets. Why do you need a mount? You got your turtle or whatever.
Hunters just kite? I heard hunters could just kite the whole thing and they don't have to do anything.
I mean, I did it as BM, even though MM is OP. I did it as BM just so I could have my pet tank it for me, and it was brain dead easy.
Smart.
On both question mark and question mark difficult. Although my pet did die at like 2%, so I'm like, oh no! But I just rested him. It was fine, no big deal. But anyway, I'm gonna get you guys out of here, and big thank you to both of you guys for sitting down today, especially you, Mr. Sean, for being here last minute. I do want to ask one quick question, and Shaw, you can take this before we get out of here. If there's going into Mythic Plus this week, if there's one mechanic, one dungeon, one something this week that you think players should be really careful with or really aware of, what would it be?
Myasara Caverns sucks. in a good way. That is
I
a
like
dungeon.
that dungeon.
No, it's my favorite. It's a really difficult dungeon. There's a lot of like tank busters. There's a lot of like tank damage amps. There's a lot of group damage. There's healing absorbs. There's swirls to dodge. There's frontals that are hard to see. The bosses are relatively difficult. So I think it's also like an open-ended dungeon at the start. So routing is going to be weird. I just
Yeah.
think that's like a dungeon that I think a lot of people are going to struggle with just because of how complicated it is on a bunch of different layers versus something like Skyreach, which is very literally hold W, and you have your count. All the trash packs are like 4 targets or 6 targets or whatever, and then you call it a day. But I'd say like if you're someone who likes to kind of study and try to learn dungeons before the season starts, I'd really focus energy on like looking at Myasara and what the bosses do and what the trash does, more importantly. So
Yeah.
that's like I guess like what dungeon I'd look at personally.
I find that
But I also played beta for 4 months straight, so it
yeah, I
feels
find
like-
that a lot of. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to
No,
talk
it's
over you. I'm so
all
sorry,
good.
man.
No, I'm just
I
trying to
find-
say words. Yeah.
Me too. I find that a lot of people don't realize that on the last boss, when you get thrown down the walkway, you need to stun, interrupt, CC those things, gives you a damage bonus. A lot of people just run past them and ignore them. Use
It's
your
not very
interrupts and stuff.
clear.
Yeah, just do whatever you can to stun, interrupt, CC those little ghosty things that have a big long cast bar on the way back to the boss because you get a stacking buff, and then
25% per stack. Yep.
it's very good. So do that. You can
It's
thank
very-
me later. Sean, anything you want to add to the conversation before we get out of here?
No, follow Shaw and go just watch. If you want to get better at Mythic Plus, just watch the man play. Very active to his chat, answers questions. I've never had a question that he wasn't eager to answer and help me with. So, especially Brewmaster this year, a lot of people are jumping into Brew because the DPS or the tank gods are saying, "Hey, Brew's good." So a lot of people are swapping to it. So if you're looking for somebody, he is, as far as I'm concerned, the only Brew resource.
Oh,
uh,
thank
in
you for
the-
that
in the
humble plug.
community.
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
guys are
Also,
awesome.
My
Thank you.
does suck.
Wow, I love that
And
dungeon.
go
You guys are
watch
crazy,
the
man.
Raider IO quick boss guide.
No, don't do
very
that.
Good and
That's,
thorough. Yeah, no, go do that. I'm gonna link all of them. They're linked down below. Brutally.
Absolutely. You're both awesome. Real quick for anyone who's watching this live or on YouTube, Spotify, etc. Make sure you guys go follow these gentlemen, sub to these gentlemen. You can see their Twitch names on the screen. They've been there the whole episode in the description. You have links to their Twitters, YouTubes, their Twitches. You can probably find their Discord servers on their Twitch pages, etc., etc., etc. So go interact with these guys. They did me and all of us a huge favor by being here this week. So thank you. Appreciate you guys. We're out of here,
Thanks,
man. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. My name's Brutal. We've got Shaw. We've got Sean. That's not what their actual Twitch names are. But you can see. You get it. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy your first week of Mythic Rating, Mythic Plus, everyone. We're out of here.
Bye.
And you guys are awesome. And Sean, again, thank you so much for saving the day at the last second, man. I really,
I'm just glad those 31 other people weren't available.
really. You were the second person, all right?
Listen,
The second person.
Shaw has never once told me a lie, so I know who to believe.
I will pull up my Discord, sir. I will show you the last three. The last 3 DMs are this DM that we have the call going in, yours, and then Jedith's. Okay.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. And the second person I asked.
I love
Hey
it.
man, no, for real. You are a rock star, man. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I hope you have a magnificent. Oh, you know what I'm doing today? I didn't talk about it during the show. I'm gonna go see Project Hail Mary today.
Ooh, I'm going tomorrow. I hope it's good.
Dude, I cannot wait. It's gonna be so good. I've heard. I read. Well, when I say I read the book, in this case, it was recommended that I listen to the audiobook, and now I recommend everyone listen to the audiobook as well. It's a phenomenal audiobook. Ray Porter's the narrator. He is the GOAT. But yeah, I'm gonna go see the movie later today, and I'm pumped. We're talking about Project Hail Mary, Shaw. I don't know if you know what that is.
It sounds like a couple of words put together, so that's where I'm at with that.
He knows both of those
Yep, yep.
words. He's heard them
Yep.
before.
I can't
Yep.
I can't give you a definition of those words. Project. It just sounds like failure to me.
It's a movie coming out based on
Oh,
a
okay,
book. It's phenomenal. Anyway, you
Shaw
guys
should-
are.
Should me
Oh, go
and
ahead.
Tactics just start a tank podcast? Is that what should happen here? I think.
I think so.
I love tactics. Tactics is great.
Oh, is there beef
Uh,
that I don't know about?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
I feel like just the way that I talk, it makes me sound like I have beef with everyone. But
Like, yeah, that guy, he's great. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the dartboard
yeah,
on the wall behind you with his picture on it, I think is really-
yep. I put all the tanks up there. Tactics, Mirrors is up there now. Yeah,
Yeah, all of
you're
them.
up there. Just I whip the dartboards at it every day.
I'm just happy to be nominated.
Yeah, you're up there. You're up there as the guy who blames me for the title, the Raider.io title stealing or whatever.
Yeah, I had no idea. Whoops.
It's all. I thought it was really funny when it happened. I was like, man, like I've been posting quick boss guide. 1 minute boss guides were in Dragonflight. I did check right before we
okay.
started the podcast. I changed them to quick boss guides because some of the comments I was getting was always like, these aren't 1 minute videos, they're 4 minute videos. I'm like, okay, they're 1 minute per boss. Like,
Yeah. Dude, don't
so I
ever read the
changed them.
comments. I never read the comments.
They can normally they're pretty good, but sometimes they're just dumb things like that, or I'll mispronounce a word because I'm like talking really fast, and they're like, you mispronounce this word. It's actually, and then they'll like do the pronunciation of it. I'm like, why are you commenting this?
That's so funny.
But I started the quick boss guides in at the start of the War Within is when I rebranded it from 1 minute boss guides to quick boss guides. And I thought it was funny when the Raider.io ones were popping up. I was like, they're doing the same thing.
We stole it.
That's-
I apologize. Whoops.
No, it's all good.
Whoopsies.
So
No, they're
just
great
search quick
videos,
boss
so.
guides and watch whatever comes up first. It's going to be Shaw's because
Yeah.
there's
It'll be
thousands more
no,
views on them, so they'll be at the top.
no, I'm gonna just record your videos and then re-upload them and then it'll
Dude, that's brilliant.
it'll be good.
It's
What brutal
phenomenal.
to end this podcast so bad.
Nah,
It's like,
man,
oh my God.
I do. The longer I get to hang out with people, the better. I have no complaints.
Yeah.
So
No,
Alright,
it's
let's
great.
get
I
out
had
of
a
here.
lot of fun.
appreciate you guys sincerely. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching live today. We're out of here. My name's Brutal. Go hang out with Shaw. Go hang out with Sean. Watch Sean on Methods Race to World First broadcast this week, probably the next couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, till the race is over. So starting Wednesday, our coverage starts Wednesday and it goes till it's done.
I was about to say you mean Tuesday, but then I'm like, oh right, EU. Disregard what I said. And then Shaw, you'll be spamming Mythic Plus keys all week and beyond, right?
Yeah, I'll be streaming Tuesday night for sure, and then all day Wednesday, and then whenever I can throughout. It's just like the last couple weeks I haven't streamed, mostly because I find the world content really boring. But also, it's like
Yeah.
I'm working on UI stuff, I'm working on videos, and it's like I just like to be able to do my own.
You
thing
only
for a
have so
couple
much
weeks
time,
before I
yeah.
jump back in.
I
Yeah,
understand.
exactly. So I wish I was more consistent with streaming, but I'm just not.
Me too, buddy. Me
Just-
too.
It is what it is. I feel like you stream every day. What do you mean?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I
I
could stream
do.
twice a day. It's like, oh, okay.
What a weird hunter thing to want.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
So
leaving.
strange.
I'm sick and tired of this Hunter nonsense. All right, appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow on my stream. You guys streaming tomorrow on your channels? You're not, Shaw.
No, not tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm a solid maybe. Whenever I
All right.
have videos to do, I never want to stream.
Well,
So-
if you
Yeah,
go
I'm the same
follow
way.
these guys, you'll be alerted when they are live. So go follow them. All right, we're out of here. Appreciate you guys.
Subscribe to Brutal Static.
Subscribe to Shaw _IRL. Subscribe to Cartridge
No, don't
Bros.
do
I'll talk to you guys later.
Adios.
Have a good one, gentlemen.
See ya.
Oh man, huge shout out to those gentlemen for sitting down today. I've got to go. My name's Bruto. Druish, thank you so much for your help today, man. I really do appreciate you staying on top of things. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the stream, 9 a.m. Central. And I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on this podcast and make sure it's up on YouTube and Spotify tomorrow, both platforms tomorrow. And you know, like Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm out of here. My name is Bruto. I love you guys. I will see you in less than 24 hours. Have a good